Hi, is Kevin there?
Yep. Hey.
Hi, Kevin. This is Laura from Popsicle Stand Promotions.
Hey, how's it going?
It's going good. How are you?
Pretty awesome. We're pretty good after last night. It was celebration time.
That's great.
It was Camp Rock 2.
That's awesome. So how did the whole, watching it go and seeing you on it?
It was pretty cool. I basically just had a little evening with my parents. They got some champagne and some wine. And, so just watched the movie, and it was pretty awesome seeing myself on TV. That was, the first time that happened.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Alright, so we're going to start off with you saying what your name is and what all you can play.
What all I can play?
Yeah.
Alright, my name is Kevin Krouglow, and I can play guitar, I can play bass, I can play piano, I can sing, I'm learning to play drums, I can play some simple beats on that, I can probably play the triangle, the block, I can drum randomly on things, and, I used to be able to play a recorder, but, there's a ton of instruments that I want to learn, and, it's actually going to be something that is going to be kind of you know how a lot of people collect stamps? I'm hoping to collect, instruments and stuff when I actually have spending money.
Man, you're very multi-talented with music.
Yeah, I guess so.
Alright, how long have you been doing something with music?
How long have I been doing anything with music?
Yeah.
I basically started playing when I was 13. I got, other than recorder in, elementary school, I got my first guitar when I was 13 years old, and I've just been playing pretty much non-stop since then. Before that, I used to be, a huge video game nerd, but then I'm no, I'm a huge music nerd. Just play guitar all the time.
Yeah. Alright, so it's no secret for your fans that you were in Camp Rock 2. How did you get the chance to do that, and when?
How did I get a chance? First of all, when was last summer. So it was, late summer, early fall was when the filming was. And basically, I got the part with my old band, and the bassist in the band, he was with a talent agency, and he got contacted, and basically was asked if we wanted to be in the film as the musicians but the movie was going by the name of Cornflip at the time, so it's what do we want to be in this movie called Cornflip? And we were hey, any exposure is good exposure, so we're sure, let's go for it. And then we sent in our videos and pictures of us and stuff like that. And we couldn't actually make the audition because it was during one of our tours. We were going to the East Coast, and we still got the part despite everybody else who auditioned. And then on the first day there, actually even just a bit before the filming, my mom did a ton of research, and she started thinking that it might be Camp Rock 2 because they were filming around the same areas and around the same time. And I'm just maybe that'd be crazy. And then I come in and everything started kind of making more sense. I'm I think it is Camp Rock 2. And then that first scene when Demi and Allison, all the actresses and actors introduced themselves, I was oh my god. Yeah, so it definitely was Camp Rock 2.
That is awesome. I bet you were very stoked when you got to do that.
Oh yeah, it was pretty surreal. It's just out of the blue. It's okay, I'm just playing in a band, and then all of a sudden it's oh, I want to do this movie. Yeah, sure, okay. I've done some extra work before that, but it wasn't anything special. And I actually remember getting annoyed with it because it was just lots of shooting, hours. You just spend your whole day out. And I remember I was even sick during the shooting. You get home, you have 6 hours of break, and then I'm hardly in any of the scenes, and they take a million shots one scene. But this was in the other film that I was in, and then this one was a lot more. Everything was smoother, and it was just I was actually in the scenes, and I actually felt I was a part of it. And yeah, it was a lot. It was a lot of a better experience than other extra work that I've done. It was pretty awesome.
Alright, so what was your inspiration for getting into the whole music thing? Were your parents big influences towards it, or was it just something that just happened and you got into?
It's actually something that kind of happened out of the blue. I remember one time I was just I always kind of listened to music. Well, actually not always. It's actually funny. I started listening to music seriously maybe when I was only 10 or 11. I never really was too big on music before that. And then I remember I was listening to, when I was 12 or something, I listened to a lot of stuff like Good Charlotte and those not Simple Plan, but there was some other band. I don't know, that kind of punk stuff that was on TV and some rock. And at one point I was in my mind, I was just so building up to that, like thinking it would be such a big deal, and like my parents were just like, yeah, sure. I'm like, awesome. And then I got a guitar, and then yeah, then this happened.
That's awesome. How long have you been doing something with music?
Like, you mean playing in bands, or like
anything, like, yeah, how, like, when you started just, like, focusing on your solo stuff and your band stuff?
Well, when I started, like when I was 13, I basically just played, and I just enjoyed learning it. Like, I was just enjoyed playing the instrument, but I never actually thought I'd go into music. But then, yeah, I just kept that up, and I think, like, I did start writing my own stuff, but again, it was never like, oh, I'm gonna be a musician. It was always something like, oh, it'd be cool, and like, you know, my parents would be like, would encourage me, and they'd say that I had like talent and stuff like that, and so would my sister and stuff. She's like, oh, like that, I kind of like what you're writing and like all this stuff. But I think it was more like when high school started, like first year of high school, one of my best friends, he, like our first period was math class, and I remember we sat together, and we were just having a conversation, a random conversation, and I'm just like, oh, I'm playing guitar, and he's like, oh yeah, I started guitar just a little bit ago too, and I'm like, oh, that's awesome, and then I'm like, we should write a song, and he's like, yeah, we should. Then we wrote a song, and like after that, we started playing like the school coffee house shows, and started getting a bit more serious, and like at that point, you know, after the first show that I played, I realized how much I loved performing, and like I realized, you know, just the good response that I get from everybody. I'm like, I could really see myself doing this. Like at that time, I was still thinking, you know, I'd be going into graphic design, but music, or like graphic design or computer animation, that's kind of what I wanted to do at the time. But I was just like, well, music would be an awesome thing to do, and then I started doing it more and more, and like, you know, improving, and then I'm just like, yeah, I think I'm gonna do music, and it's only like, you know, I was thinking of doing the band thing, and it's only like late in my high school years that I really decided that, like, yeah, it's music.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Some people think that there are a lot of advantages of doing music, and there are. I'm not going to say that there's not. But can you give us some disadvantages to it?
Some disadvantages to doing music?
Yeah.
Well, it's very, very hard in any art industry to make it. You really, like, the advantages are more so on the side of, you know, just enjoying what you do. It's just, like, it's so risky that, you know, if somebody didn't actually love the field of music or any other art for that matter, you know, it's like, you can't really get into it because the rewards are all in, you know, the actual enjoyment of it, and the amount of work you need to put into it is just so much, and you hardly get anything out of it for most of it, you know, because if it's something straightforward, like, you know, like, a job that pays you by the hour, you know, like if you spend more time on it, you're going to get paid more. Like with something like music, it's like you can spend your whole life just like, you know, trying so hard at it and spending every day and like every hour of your day just, you know, all of your energies on music, and nobody might notice you, and you're never going to get that back. So like, and if you don't get any enjoyment out of it, then it'll be completely a waste of time. And so that's one major thing, you know. It's really competitive thing, you know. There's so many bands out there. It seems like nowadays people either go like in high school, like it's either you're going to be into sports or you're going to be into music, and then everybody starts doing a band. Like I remember at first when I was getting into it, and I'm like, oh yeah, like I'm in a band, and I felt like I was kind of unique from everybody else. I'm like, wait, these people are in a band. This guy's in a band. This guy plays music. This girl plays music. They're in a band. Oh my god! Everybody was doing it, so I'm just like, okay. Yeah, it's just really competitive. That's one thing, and you know, it's like, it's just a lifestyle thing. You know, it's for a lot of jobs you can, or for a lot of careers, you can really detach yourself from what you do. You can, you know, do it, and then you can, with the rest of your time, you can just do something else. You know, you can completely tune that out. If you're doing music, it's like, it's part of your life. Like if you're writing songs, you're writing about your life, and you get your inspiration at the most random times, your schedule, you'd be pretty much doing it all day, and like, just the amount of work that it takes, you know, you'd be spending all of your day, like, you know, half your day promoting, the other half of it writing, because you can never do just one. And you know, it basically is your lifestyle, and that's kind of what I love personally about it.
I think it's important for people to follow their dreams, even if it means changing their lifestyle.
If they like the lifestyle change, like that has to be part of the dream, right? So it's like, yeah, for sure, I think following your dreams is very important because I think life is about doing, what makes you happy on a grand scale, on the, like the true happiness kind of thing. So it's like your dreams are definitely part of it, but if you're like, oh, well, I would love to be a performer, but I don't want to, like I don't want to have like fans, I don't want to do this, I just want to play music. It's like, well, it's a package deal and it's a lifestyle, so like the dream isn't just one thing, you've got to look at the full spectrum of what it brings, it's like, you got to really know you got to dream, but you've also got to be realistic about what your dream is, because you can never just you can never just pick the good of one thing, right? So there's a lot of aspects to anything.
Yeah. Let's see. How would you describe the word success?
How would I describe the word success?
Yeah.
So let me think about that. Well, in relation to what I want to do, or just in general?
You can do both if you want.
Well, in relation to what I want to do, I think being successful in music would be being able to play music, not have to have another job, and be able to support myself at a lifestyle that I want. So like, not for me to, like, if I wanted a modest lifestyle, then that would be ideal. If I wanted to, then that's success at that point. But if I wanted to, travel all the time and all this stuff, then, for me, success would be able to do the things that I want to do and be able to do what I want to do in the sense of my career, in the sense of music, and have that, be able to pay those bills and all that stuff. And I was going to say something else. I kind of lost my trail of thought. Oh no. But, yeah, so I just think success is just being happy with where you are. Oh yeah, what I was going to say is for you to keep improving too, I guess. So like that, because I think that as people, whenever things start to get just too stale, we start feeling that, things aren't good. It's like we still need to feel that we're improving, like when you feel that you're improving as an artist, you're improving as like self-expression, like just going on an upward slope kind of thing.
Okay. We're